Hi, how are you today? The improved package has arrived. We're having it fitted in time for FP1. Have a look at the factory report.
Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode and the penultimate race of this entire series, episode 139, and we are here for the penultimate race of season 7, the Brazilian Grand Prix. Let's see how this race goes. It's going to be an interesting one. Once again, starting from the back of the grid, hopefully have a nice fun race and see how it goes. This is a track that traditionally the AI have been pretty strong at, so I'm curious to see how I perform in this new Ferrari now with the double upgrade that you would have seen at the start of the video. But let's see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting one. In terms of the grid though, for today's race, it's Perez on pole with Vettel in P2, so pretty standard front row grid with those two. And then as we move further down, third and fourth is a Mercedes, second row, Bottas leading Hamilton. Then we have Ocon leading Max Verstappen, Felipe Massa in P7 ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, with Alonso and Stoffel Van Dorn running out the top 10 for McLaren. Then we have Hülkenberg and Stroll, Grosjean and Jolyon Palmer in 14th there, Kvyat and Magnussen, Pascal Wehrlein, Marcus Ericsson, and then finally myself and Carlos Sainz. So we're not actually starting from the back this race. We're actually starting second from last due to Carlos Sainz picking up a penalty. But overall, I'm looking forward to it. Brazil is a track that I do enjoy racing on. Not a lot on this game, I've got to be honest. I enjoy the track, but for some reason I've never really enjoyed this track a lot on this game. I don't know what's been missing, but just not really found the sweet spot on it. Either way, though, we're going to try our best and have a good race here today. P19 in the grid is going to be interesting. In terms of the strategy for the race, a lot of comments of you guys saying I should be more aggressive. So I'm going to take your suggestions on board. And I'm going to try and go a bit more of an aggressive approach. So we're going to get this strategy and we're going to modify it. So we're going to go for, I think, an extra stint. We're going to start the race, I think, on the super softs. And then run the soft, I'd say, in the middle stint. So we'll get that quickly in the window. I reckon that's about right. I think we can do 11 laps on the supers. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'm happy with that. I think that's a good little balance. I can sort of modify it on the fly if I need to, but that's going to be the tyre strategy for this race. And we're going to stick with it. So hopefully we can have a good race. And it's an enjoyable one. I'm looking to just basically push as hard as I can and have a bit of fun in this race. And if we can get a podium, then that would be a great result. You know, the last race was really, really good. So if we can sort of match that result, then that would be an incredible achievement. But anyway, enough blabbering. And let's get into the race now for round number 19 for the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Interlagos. Right then, let's get ready for the 5 red lights here for the penultimate race of the season. And it's lights out and away we go at Interlagos, and it's a pretty poor start. Sainz off to an absolute flyer in the Toro Rosso. We're sort of boxed in here on the outside after getting on the grass. So Sainz comes back onto the racing line when he was going to take a bit more of a central line into turn 1 there, but dirt on my tyres. I've got to try and shake that off, otherwise I'm going to have no grip. But so far after a couple of corners we are still last. We need to try and make some positions. There will be loads to make up in this first lap. The AI brake very early for a lot of corners here, so we'll just take it, be wise, take it easy, keep our front wing in one piece. We're right up and close and personal with Marcus Ericsson here. Maybe we can try and get on the inside here of the Swede, and we do make that move quite nicely. Now here's AL with a brake. They brake quite early, so we're going to get on the inside of Kevin Magnussen there in the Haas. We're going to power past. He's still on the inside line, so I've got to leave him a little bit of room, but we're going to pick up the traction around the outside and make the move stick there. Very nicely done. Up next though, Carlos Sainz, the man who started actually behind me, got a great lap 1 underneath him, the Spaniard. A really, really solid start in this race. Obviously, could have actually taken me out there, but either way, up the hill now, out of the final major braking zone on this track, and now we're going to get a massive slipstream off of these cars all the way down the pit straight, and we've got some incredible straight line speed in this car, especially with the engine upgrade. So here we go, picking up the toe on Carlos Sainz. We're going to pull to the inside. Sainz doesn't go defensive. We're going to get the move done on the brakes. Oh, very close. A little bit of contact with Kvyat there. Just knocking off a bit of the end play, actually. No visible damage. I'm still green on the front wing, but apparently I have front wing damage, so we have to be careful with that. But we get past Kvyat, and we are now up into P15 and past both of the Toro Rossos. We're getting very close here to Jolyon Palmer in the Renault. A little bit of front wing damage we're currently nursing. I can notice it slightly, but it's not massive. I'm going to get my front wing changed in the next stop, though, just for precaution. Also, so I can actually push to the maximum in the next stint, but not a major concern. We'll just keep going for now. We still have a pace advantage over these guys around us, so it's just a question of making the moves one by one. Here we go then. DRS is now enabled. and we've already got a massive toll on Jolyon Palmer. We're going to open up the DRS though and pull to the inside. Palmer sort of wiggles around a bit and doesn't really make up his mind, but we do power past him and make the move into P14 with a personal best on top of that. A little bit deep into turn 1 actually, but we pull it back to the apex of 2 and we get back on our way, and we can now hunt down Romain Grosjean in the Haas. Okay, another lap, another potential overtake this time. Romain Grosjean, we're going to get the slipstream and now open up the DRS on the Frenchman. Will he go defensive? He does a little bit. I'm going to still power past him though and make the move into turn 1 quite nicely on him, and we're now into P13. Okay, we've caught up to the next pack of cars, and oh, we've got a slow car. Alonso just got a puncture, I think. We've just managed to breeze past and get past 3 cars there on the radio. I got a message saying Alonso got a problem with his car. We've just managed to get past Stroll. I was going to say we might have had some trouble getting past Stroll because of that incredible straight line speed of the Williams car, and then Hulkenberg in front, and that Renault is pretty quick as well. But luckily, Alonso just put in a plate for us to make the triple overtake, so we're now into the points, into P10, and we can now chase after Max Verstappen in front of us. Sergio Perez is doing 1 minute 08.9s. That is incredible pace. I'm nowhere near that. Right, I don't really know where my pace has gone, but we just don't have great race pace here today, so we're going to come into the pit lane, get our front wing repaired, get some fresh tyres on. We're on a 2-stop strategy, so we're going to get it all slowed down for the entry of the pit lane, nice and easy, and get our front wing changed. We're going to lose a position to Stroll at least, also maybe the car behind. But, you know, I'm not really sure we're going to be this race or who we're racing. We're just basically racing ourselves. I don't really know what to spend for my pace. It doesn't even feel like a deficit of like cockpit view or lack of practice, because I did laps in the practice session, and also I feel fine. I think I'm just generally not quick around here. I think Perez especially and Sebastian Vettel are just ridiculously quick. So yeah, we can't really do much more than that. So we're just going to push on now with this tyre and see where we go. We've got Palmer in front of us, so we're going to rejoin behind him, and looks like we're going to rejoin in P19 as Alonso is currently circulating at the back. So we're basically in a net last, so it can't get any worse than this. Let's crack on with it and let's try and pick up the pace. Personal best, as you'd expect, into 1 minute 09s, but still miles off the race pace. Don't really have an answer, to be honest. I'm just sort of circulating at this point. Okay, Ericsson's really struggling on those tyres now. We're going to make the move around the outside here, and that'll become the inside for the next corner. Nicely done, nice and tidy. And it looks like now cars are coming in. I think a lot of people are going to go for the one stop, so more power to them. That medium tyre for me is horrible around here, so there's no way I'm touching it. So let's continue on. We're catching up with Palmer now. Alright, we're going to have to re-overtake Jolyon just like last time, so picking up the toe all the way up the hill. Open up the DRS. Well, this time it looks like Palmer might actually be running some rich mix here. His straight line speed is way better than last time. Cars in the pit lane, but we're going to go for the move to turn 1 anyway. Late on the brakes. And it's a nice move into the first corner and into P14. So there we go. Back ahead of Palmer. Now we've got to try and crack on with it and also try and stay ahead here, as he's now going to have DRS on me. So let's see if we have enough straight line speed. I can see him approaching, but he's not really close enough to make the move. So there we go. We've held on to it. Now we've got to try and pull away. A couple more cars in the pit lane, so we're now getting promoted to P12. Making progress here as I extend that corner an absolute treat. I'm not enjoying this race so far though, I've got to be honest. Pace is horrible. This is why I said I don't really enjoy Brazil in this year's game. Something about it that doesn't really work for me. And there we go, P11 now as we get past Nico Hulkenberg, who's exiting the pit lane right now as we speak, as I get a massive bit of opposite lock through turn 2. We're now back into 11th place, and this is our net position because Stroll obviously passed us thanks to the front wing change. This is a little bit embarrassing, but Nico Hulkenberg is actually faster than me on the same tyres in a much slower car, and he's all over the back of me. So yeah, this might be the story of this race. I'm really struggling at the minute for pace. Hulkenberg might have a go at me. He's getting very close with the DRS. He doesn't actually commit to anything, but he is right there, and he's really pushing hard at the minute. I have no explanation for this pace. I don't know what to say. I mean, I feel like I'm running at my maximum. I'm really pushing hard here every single lap, but it's just not enough. The AI is very strong around here, very strong. I can't do nothing about it. I've tried to do some cockpit view while I've not been talking, and even that's made no difference. And also, I don't think qualifying would have made a difference here today, because I would have just dropped back through the field. At this rate, I don't even think there was a guarantee of me getting to Q3. Someone just came in and we're now up into P10. Ricardo in front of me has got car problems, so I might be passing him fairly soon. But I'm going to have to come in again very soon for super softs in about 2 laps. Hulkenberg thought about it there into turn 1. He had a little look, but he was never really close enough to make the overtake. 2 more laps, this one and 1 more, and this time we can come in for the super softs. just as I was catching him, I think Ricciardo has now resolved these car issues, so typical, we're not going to be able to overtake him. Right, we're going to come in and get the super softs in the car. This race has been an absolute disaster class. Just no pace at all, nothing I can really do. So we're just going to come up with the super softs and also use some bridge mix and have a little bit of fun and try and pump in maybe a fastest lap maybe. I need to try and aim for like a 108.8, but you know, we'll try our best and see what happens. It's going to be a real interesting race this one. I need a safety car to give me any chance of getting back into the points, but oh well, it is what it is. We're probably not going to score points this race, but I'll try my hardest and try and have a little bit of fun on these super soft tyres. I'm so bloody quick on these tyres now. Look at the grip difference we have straight up the inside of signs from absolutely miles back. This is much more fun. Even though I score no points, I'll have a little bit of fun making these moves. Looks like we are bang on target for a fastest lap of the Grand Prix. I can run rich until the end of the race, so I'm just going to stretch my muscles and enjoy it. There we go, 108.4, comfortably the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. I can do it in rich mix. For some reason, though, standard, I just had no pace at all. Right, on the back of Kevin Magnussen now, I'm going even faster still. And we're going to pick up the DRS on the Dane. Rich mix included, we're going to be flying with straight line speed here as we make our way down to turn 1. Magnussen goes to the inside. I'm just going to go for it around the outside here. And look at the grip difference and the speed difference. And we're now up into P13. Still miles away from the points, but another fast lap into the 1 minute 18.1s. Way faster than anybody else. Okay, we've caught up to Romain Grosjean here. Not pretty close enough for a move just yet, but I'm going to pick up the DRS. And I'm going to get nice and close. Maybe we can go into turn 4, make an overtake possibly. As we close up to the Frenchman here. Overspeed is incredible as we go through turn 1, through turn 2, keep it nice and tidy on the power, keep it nice and tight through 3, and then open up the DRS here, and Grosjean goes defensive straight away, but there's nothing he can do to stop me, and we fly past him there, and we're now into P12 with Stroll just up the road here for P11. Okay, then here we go on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Can we catch Stroll and finish in P11? That's going to be the challenge. Maybe if I can get close to him and have a run up the hill at the end of the lap, I might have a chance. I'm not really close enough really to make a move on Stroll, I don't think. Tyres are just starting to let go. They're not as fresh as they once were. We will have DRS, but I don't think we've got enough of a run, unfortunately. So it's going to be P12 for us in this race. Perez has already won. He won ages ago. He absolutely flew around this circuit. We are going to gain on Stroll, but not enough. And I'm surprised my driver's celebrating that one, but you know, I guess in game logic, I went from 19th to 12, but even still, I don't think that's worth celebrating. But nevertheless, that was an interesting race, a real sort of a different one that I've not experienced too often. You know, one where you sort of get humbled a bit. It makes you realise that it's not as easy, or you're not as fast as you might think you might be. But the AI definitely are very quick around this track. I knew that coming into this race, and I knew it'd be a challenge. Even if I'd one stopped and even qualified, I probably would have still struggled to, you know, get at least maybe a solid top 8 without having to struggle and really defend. So I don't feel too bad about where I finished, to be honest. It's just one of them races, to be honest with you. So we go again in the next one in Abu Dhabi, where I will have a brand new power unit fitted to the car, and we'll be going at max power for that one, just trying to really win that race from last to first, and 100% race. So we'll have a lot more laps to try and win the race. So I'm looking forward to it. We can also run our strategy with maybe one stop less to really try and win it. But anyway, there's your podium. Perez wins, Vettel second, Hamilton in P3 in the Mercedes there. And overall, that is your top 3. And we're now going to move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings for the penultimate time in this season before we move on to the next race in Abu Dhabi in the finale of this F1 2017 career mode. So here we have the final race results. Perez wins ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Perez really strong today, really dominant. We do bring home the fastest lap as Hamilton rounds up the podium. Ocon in P4, Massa in P5 in his home race. Max Verstappen, Bottas, Ricciardo, Van Dorn and Nico Hülkenberg round out the top 10. And in terms of the driver standings, you can see we are 61 points clear with one more race to go. Massa overtakes Raikkonen there for P8, and Vettel pretty much now restricted to P4 in the championship. But in terms of the constructors, Force India officially win the constructors championship for the first time in their history. They dominated this season. They deserved it. They went from strength to strength, and they've never looked back ever since I left them. So fair play to them, and they win their first constructors championship. Overall, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. If you have enjoyed it, then please do drop a like on the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content. And finally, check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video very soon for the final episode of my F1 2017 Career Mode. Goodbye, guys.